Hey guys, welcome back to another Lake House Wellness Campaign video. My name is Winnie Kisache. Today we're going to be talking about skin, everything about your skin and how it causes or how it affects your mental health. We're also going to be looking at emotional support for people with skin disorders. And basically, we want to focus on wellness in a pandemic. And with us, we have Dr. Ronald Katureebe. He's a practicing dermatologist and has been practicing for 9 years. I don't know if many of you guys know that we actually have very few dermatologists in Uganda. And this is something that is a problem for me because I battle with skin diseases, guys. I have acne, and I'm hoping that Dr. Ronald is going to help me address this, why I break out, and yeah, everything to do with my skin. And I'm sure there's so many people watching us here, especially women who battle with this same problem. So Dr. Ronald, you've been practicing dermatology for 9 years.
Yes.
And I'm sure your clinic is always full because there are few of you here, right?
Yes, that's true. It's quite busy, I must say.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you say is the impact of the skin to your mental health?
Yes, thanks for having me. First of all, I want us to know that the skin, as most people may know, is the largest organ of the body and is therefore important for the general well-being of our health. So anything that affects the skin is definitely going to affect our health, physical and mental health. And skin disease, there's been evidence now that skin disease causes a big number of mental health problems, ranging from mood disorders to even depression.
Yes, that's
which
true.
Which is the most severe form of mental health. So definitely skin disease has a profound effect on our mental health, and it's something that should be addressed.
Yeah.
Although it's something that is overlooked many times, because skin diseases sometimes are considered minor in some cases, and therefore if it's considered minor, you'll find the effect on mental health also is going to be considered minor. So yes, it definitely has a profound effect on mental health.
Yeah. I remember in 2019, I had my greatest skin problem. I think it was around August, and I started with one pimple on my right cheek, and then it just exploded, like all over my skin. I started just breaking out like a problem. And I went to see a dermatologist, and they gave me so many solutions, and I had to actually leave the clinic with a huge bill. But I wanted to really clear it. I wanted my skin to go back to normal because I couldn't leave my house without wearing makeup. And that was a big problem for me because it was affecting me, you know. I was so depressed actually. I would say I was depressed because I was having stress from work. And I know that so many people who break out like this, it can come from stress, but then the skin problem can also cause stress. So it's like a ripple effect, right?
It's a ripple effect,
Yes.
You're right about that. Yes, what you suffered from is what we call acne. And acne is actually a medical condition. Yes, it's a medical condition. You break out with what people call pimples. And this can be treated. And that's also one of the things. Many people have suffered from acne and think there's actually no solution. And then that multiplies the stress and the emotional problems that this brings. But also stress itself in people who are prone to getting acne can also be a trigger for getting acne.
Yes.
So it actually can be a vicious cycle. So somebody has acne and it stresses them. The stress now causes more acne and then causes more stress. So it becomes a vicious cycle, and in the end you find somebody gets depressed like you were. And depression, as people know, is quite a serious mental illness and can affect other aspects of your life. So we also had people with acne, and I see them at my practice, especially young people, teenagers, and not only teenagers, it also affects older people. And they suffer from the same things you had, social isolation. So somebody doesn't want to
at all. They want to go
home.
to public. Yes.
You have the young teenagers, they don't want to hang out with their friends because there's our society, especially now in this age of social media and all this, it's about perception. How do people look at me? People are putting their pictures out. So somebody gets a few blemishes, pimples, and
It's a problem.
it's a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's really a big issue now. I would say worse than even before.
Yes.
In our age now.
And you know, now that we have so many social media apps and photography editing apps, people now can take pictures and then edit out the acne. But then when you actually meet this person in person, you're like, what is wrong with your skin?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's true. But again, that is not even solving the problem. So yes, you use makeup, for example, or you use what are they called, filters in your pictures. Yeah, that gives you probably some confidence at that time.
Yeah.
But the problem is there. So usually and many people also don't know, as you mentioned, we have few dermatologists, few doctors who treat especially skin diseases. So there's not much information about skin diseases. And one of the main ways you can actually help in combating or battling these emotional issues is empowering the sufferers or the patients who have these conditions by knowing about their condition. If you know what acne is, what causes it, how can it be treated, can it be treated, can it be prevented, then that goes a long way in reducing the stress you may have.
Yes.
Than if somebody says we can treat your acne, and that's what always happens. Some person goes to this place, here. By the time he comes, he's just. Some people come and they're like, I'm just tired of my skin.
Yes.
Some people come and say, I wish they can. Is there a transplant or something?
Can help me clear my skin.
Can clear your skin. So for people knowing there is help first to deal with the physical or the medical problem goes a long way in actually solving the emotional issues that arise from it.
Yeah, and it's good you talked about how so many people are not actually informed about the skin, because people actually now go to the internet and find, solutions for themselves, because not many people believe that. I don't know if this is the reason why you're few dermatologists. People think like they can just get solutions from the internet and get certain leaves from the garden, use honey or something of that sort, and that would help them clear their skin, But you people bring in a different role as doctors, because you've studied this, you've practiced it for a long time, and it's different from someone who goes to the internet, because then they're trying to find a cure for themselves, right? Yes. But they're not going to get the emotional support that doctors can give us. Yeah. So what would you say to those people who feel like they can get a solution on their own instead of coming to you doctors to help them out?
Yeah, of course, that is the age we live in, which actually has some advantage. I personally like clients or patients who have some knowledge about their condition, but the internet, or Dr. Google as we call it, is can also be problematic because there's so much information on the internet. If you just type in something, you get about, 100 diagnoses. So it is not, I would say, targeted. So you'll get a lot of information, even on the wrong diagnosis. You may think you have acne and it is something
else, right?
So I would always advise people use the internet, to search for who you can see, because that's one of the ways. So look for the dermatologists, come and get a consultation, see us, then we can diagnose you. Then you can also ask questions from what you've read, and then together, then we can come with find a solution for your skin issue.
Yeah.
And during the visit, that's when we can also ask about the other issues you face, because that's when we ask. For example, somebody comes with a skin issue, eczema, probably a mother with a child with eczema, which is quite a devastating condition.
Yes.
It is not, I would not say it's a disease that is going to physically harm, but emotionally it drains the child, it drains the family, they can't sleep, they're itching. So when you come in and we're able to holistically see you, so we will give you the treatment or what you can use, and then listen to you. How is it affecting you?
Yes.
Some people have misconceptions about these conditions. For example, eczema, people think it's infectious. So you have these kids, they go to school and their teachers... Stigmatization. The teachers say, take your kid home, they are going to spread this condition. So imagine what it does to the child. So you have children who are stressed, to get emotionally, the parents. It's a disease that affects sleep for both the sufferer, and imagine your child is scratching the whole night, the parents are not going to sleep, you have to go to work the next day, the child has to go to school, everybody gets exhausted. So they come in and we're able to, first of all, manage the condition. Tell you what to use, what to prevent, tell you if it can be, if it's curable, because that's also another thing. Some conditions are chronic, but can be managed. So it means you can control the disease process, keep it in remission for some time.
Yeah.
And then that helps everybody. Then, of course, you have people who are more severely affected, as we had discussed earlier, people who may get depressed because of this. And then those we can appropriately treat, whether to refer to even a psychiatrist to actually treat now the more longer-term
Yes.
mental health issues that may come. So I would always tell sufferers of skin conditions to really come and see a healthcare professional or specialist.
And I think another thing that we need to address is patience, because most of us, when we get these skin issues, we think that it's something that can go away in an instant, that you're going to get a drug and it's going to go away in a day or two. But like that period where I went through that terrible skin condition, I remember it affected me for about 3 months, and I was on medication for 3 months before I actually cleared through. But then there are people out there who think this is something that is instant and it's supposed to be cured, because they can't go through that emotional thing of, they are burdened by, why isn't this going away? Why isn't it clearing? So do you also like counsel people? How do you deal with people who are hasty?
Who are hasty. Yes, and first of all, it's natural. Everybody wants to get quick. Wants to heal in the quickest time possible. So, but we know, and you're right, a good number of skin conditions, not all of them, are chronic or a long term. And one of the things we do is first listen to the client. What are the expectations? If somebody says, I want to be treated in 2 weeks for my acne. And then you explain to them. Once you explain to the client, acne you have to treat for minimum 3 months, because it's a slow responding disease, nothing you would do about it. And then they're able to handle that, manage the expectations, and compliance will actually improve with the medication. But if you give them a false promise and say in 2 weeks, wait for 2 weeks. If you're not ready, if you're not,
and then they come for you, like, hey,
they'll come for you. Or in more cases, more commonly, they'll go to somebody else, try somebody else. But that doesn't change. The disease is like that. So in the end, somebody has wasted resources, wasted their time. They're not getting better. So it's about being open with the customer, and let them also listen to them. Listen to them. Then you actually have a treatment plan that will actually be workable. And follow up, give them reviews. Come, say after 2 weeks you expect this, you can come and check on me after 1 month. And that's how they will actually be able to be compliant with the treatment and actually get better. And in the long term, improve their anxiety and stress.
Mental health.
So in the end, it comes with a proper treatment and discussing with the client what to expect.
I understand that there are foods that actually affect our skins that can cause us to break out. Could you give some advice on what foods we need to eat or what we need to do generally to have better skin and, have a better mental health because of, what we eat?
You're right. But generally, I start from first principles. As I mentioned earlier, the skin is our largest organ, which means just like your liver, your kidneys, your whatever, the skin is an organ. So it should be, your diet should be healthy. And we all know a healthy diet, your vegetables, so vitamins, fruits are healthy, avoid processed foods. Generally, when you eat healthily, your skin will also be, even for those who have skin conditions, say acne or eczema or psoriasis. Generally, when you have a good diet that is balanced, your skin will be. But more specifically, we now know, research has shown there are certain foods that specifically can worsen certain conditions. For example, with acne, we know sugary foods, foods with lots of sugars, highly processed foods, and dairy. So if you like your yogurt, your ice cream, and some clients will actually tell you, once I eat this, I'm going to have a breakout. So dairy and especially sugary foods have been known to trigger some skin conditions, more specifically acne.
Okay.
And of course, some people also have allergies and this can trigger certain conditions like eczema or psoriasis. There's a condition called psoriasis that can be triggered by certain foods, rosacea by spicy foods. Rosacea is a condition like acne. Spicy foods, alcohol are triggers. So when you come and...
So hold on, it looks like acne, but it's not acne.
Yes, rosacea is a condition that looks like acne. The difference is that the pimples tend to come around the nose. Usually it's around this area, the nose area. And it may actually look almost similar, but once you come in, we're able to
know what it
is.
To
know what it is, and the treatment is a bit different.
Yeah.
So some people may have this, and yet it's the other one.
I think, guys, you've understood that we actually need to understand what we have, and for us to understand what skin condition we're suffering from, we actually need to go and see these dermatologists. They are here for a reason, so don't take matters into your hands. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. We'll be able to answer them for you. And Dr. Ronald, I know there are people who want to reach you. Where can they find you and how can they contact you?
Yes, I'm a dermatologist at Kampala Dermatology Skin Clinic. It's on plot 37, Bandali Rise, Bogolovi. And we're open Monday to Saturday.
Okay.
8 to 6 p.m.
Okay, okay. So we'll also be able to leave the contacts for Dr. Ronald in the link in the description down below, so you'll be able to see them. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll be able to see you in our next episode of the Lake House Wellness Campaign. Thank you, Ronald, for being here with us.
Thank you for
appreciate you. I appreciate your insights. I've learned a lot from you, and I hope to see you here again.
Hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Thanks for hosting.
Okay, guys. Bye.